Hey guys, I've had this mower. It's a Husqvarna LGT 2654. I've had this for about a year now. I figured I'd do a little review on it. It's a 54-inch cut, so it has 3 blades on it on the deck. Here it's marked 54-inch cut, and you can see it's got smaller blades, and there's 3 of them in there on that deck. And it's got the big 26 horsepower engine. It's a Kohler. I really like the motor. It runs good. It's got plenty of power. It's kind of handy to for maintenance. There's your air filter. It's easy to get to change your air filter on that, and it's got a good dipstick on it. You can check your oil. Comes with a oil filter, so that's one of the better motors. And it's got the bigger tires on it. Let's see here. Here's the size of them. They're 22 by 9.5 on a 12-inch wheel. So the bigger rear tires when you go to the 54-inch deck. And on the front, it's got 16 by 6.5 on 8-inch wheel. Yeah, I'm not sure. Thought there was a grease fitting under here. Nope. That's just a cap, but it has, as far as for maintenance, it has grease fittings. It's got a cast iron front axle. That's nice. For a bigger tractor, it's good to have that. And it has grease fittings here for greasing the steering, and grease fittings on the deck for your spindles. It's got a washing system where you can connect the hose up and rinse the deck out, which I've never used that. And a real handy feature here, you can see the belt diagram right here. It's got one big belt that runs all these blades, and to change the belt, all you have to do is flip this lever. You can put a new belt on there. It's real simple, real easy. I had to replace the belt once. Had it a year, and what happened, ran over some sticks, and one of the sticks got wedged up in here and cut the belt. Didn't cut it in half, but it took a chunk out of it. And you've got on your deck adjustable wheels, so you don't scalp off your lawn. See different adjustments on there. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 different holes on there. Some other things, I'm not sure exactly how much gas it holds, but it's close to 5 gallons. I would say it holds about 4 gallons, and you've got a visual gas here, visual indicator for the gas. You've got, here's your deck adjuster, your mowing height. I usually mow on 4 or 5. If you go down to these 1, 2, or 3, you're really going to scalp your lawn off. And I've got the wheels adjusted, so pretty much when you go down to 3, they're touching. Let's see, the wheels touching at 3. I usually let the grass grow to like 6 inches because I got a lot of lawn to mow, and then I cut it at about 4 or 5 inches, up 4 inches. Usually get it at, and I'm not sure if these are actually in inches, like if that would be 5 inches tall on your grass, but I usually mow them down to 4 or 5 there, depending on the height, if you can get through it. And it will go through some tall grass. I've gone through grass that was close to a foot tall, and it will go right through it. some thick, heavy grass. In the middle of summer, it starts raining hard. We get a lot of rain. The grass grows really fast. Sometimes it's hard to keep up with it. But the seat is adjustable right here. Push on this lever. It adjusts real easy. So if you and your wife are different sizes, you can adjust that seat to whatever you need it. There's little holes here for a canopy. So if you want to put a canopy, like a shade canopy over the top, you can put them in them holes. It's an accessory. And see, I bought this. Someone had returned it to Lowe's. They used it. It's got an hour meter on it. They used it maybe 2 hours, and they returned it. And I haven't had any trouble with it. I've got quite a few hours on it now. Let's see what the hour meter's up to. 134 hours. So I've got quite a few hours on it, and had no trouble with it. The reason I think they returned it is because of this lever right here. It's a little different than a lot of your other hydrostatic lawnmowers. This is your speed and direction control. Let's see here. So if you want to go forward, this is the neutral position. It's in now. And there's forward. And that's kind of your mowing speeds are between that notch here and your travel speed. If you want to go fast and you're not mowing, that's that notch there. And then you got reverse, of course. That's got a switch here. That'll stop the blades. It'll actually kill the motor if you put it in reverse and the blades are engaged. But on the key here, see that? It's in stop. And when you crank it, cranks here, and then run is there. And then if you want to reverse with the blades on, put your key in that position there. That's a safety, so you kind of look backwards, make sure you don't run something over, run over a person or something behind you when you got those blades engaged. So this is the reason I think they returned it, because the last mower I had was a John Deere L series tractor, and you had a gas pedal right here for speed. And then I believe, it's been a while, but I believe it had a lever on this side where you could switch, or the gas pedal rocked like forward, and then you step on it back here to go in reverse like that. I can't remember. It's been quite a few years. I had another lawn tractor in between that John Deere and this one. It was a older one, but this is a little bit awkward compared to a foot pedal. And when I first started, I got on the tractor, it seemed a little funny. It's sort of like cruise control, because you put it in there and it'll just keep going forever until you push on the clutch brake pedal. You know, you got to hold the clutch brake pedal in, and that's how you stop. Normally you would let off, if you had a pedal here for gas, you would just let off it and then the motor would stop. With this system, it just keeps on going, sort of like a cruise control. Takes a little getting used to, and you might be mowing near some brushy areas. There might be some sticks or a branch from a tree, and it could pull that on you. It'll move that lever on you if you get too close to them and it gets hooked. But other than that, I like everything about it. It mows really well, nice and even, nice even cut. You know, it's got plenty of power, been reliable, starts easy for me. Missing a reflector here. Somebody else was mowing with it and ended up missing. Must have backed into something, broke it out. And some other things. This is the parking brake, like most tractors nowadays. Go up on that. That puts it in park and locks it. Push on it and unlocks automatically. It has a 12-volt power port here. If you want to charge something or inflate the tires, I've used it for that. Put a little cigarette lighter, air compressor in there, and you can pump up your tires. It's pretty handy for that. What else? I talk about. You got a kind of a brush bar in the front, little bumper. So I think that's good to have. So you don't end up breaking the plastics. It does have a metal skid plate on the front here, and here's where the exhaust comes out right here. So I don't know. I don't think that's the best idea, having the exhaust come out in front of you, because you're kind of breathing that as you're driving it. And you got light switches. There's a light switch there. And one thing I noticed with this engine in particular, even if the engine's warmed and you shut it off for 5 minutes, you still have to choke it every time you start it. It'll crank right up. If you don't choke it, it will not start, even if it's been warmed up. Of course, here's your engine speed. And it has electric PTO to engage the blades on and off, just like that. So here's a little review of the Husqvarna, how it works, some different features it has. I'll have a little footage here of me mowing with it. And let's see where the battery is. This hood is metal too. A lot of the newer tractors come with plastic hoods. It's got a lot of plastic pieces on it, but it's metal here. Here's your battery, where it's located. And there's, I'm thinking that's a starter relay right there that the battery connects to. And it says overhead valve on there. Engine cover. It's overhead valve motor. 747 cc's. It says colorengines.com, rated at 3,600 RPM. 26 horsepower. Engineered and assembled in the USA. Colors like a premium motor. It's a good motor. Hopefully it'll last a long time. Plan on keeping this motor, or this mower, for quite a long time yet. There you can see the frame, how it's built. That's the exhaust pipe going down into a muffler. Right down here is the muffler. It's pretty big. Frame, it's probably average quality, I'd say, for mowers. It's like a lot of the MTD mowers, I'd say. You know, just about all mowers are made by MTD. I'm not sure. Husqvarna, I imagine they make their own. I haven't researched it to see if your Craftsman, Yardman, those are all MTD built. Not sure about this one here, but it's a good mower. It's a big one, so if you got big property to take care of, like I've got a couple acres to mow, so it works good. And there's also this here, I forgot to mention. This is disengages the transmission. So when you pull this pin out, you can push it. And when you push it back in, you make sure to never try to drive it with this pin pulled out, because it could damage the transaxle. So there you go. Alright guys, I'll crank it up. You can hear it run. I'll put it over on this side because the exhaust is on this side. You can hear how loud it is.